I'm going to be reacting to Gerard's video, Manipulation in Bonk Crypto Token Analysis.
This week was rather mixed, but it was in the name of Solana meme coins, especially Bonk.
Go Bonk.
Why is Bonk up? Who's buying here? Who's selling here? Is this a sustainable?
Very simple. Let's bonk.
And dump. Let's have a look at the data. Most people,
Which is a pump fund competitor.
try to figure out what's going on here. So this is the price development this week. We are almost 30%. At the same time,
I got a little bag of bonk.
went down slightly by 1.5%. So this is clearly a rally idiosyncratic to Bonk itself. Bonk is the second largest meme coin on the Solana chain. At place number 1 is the Trump token. I would not be surprised at all if Trump was to lose that first place and if Bonk replaces that.
I would love that.
Is token inflation. In the future, we will see more and more Trump tokens hitting the market. That will likely depress the price because the founding team is selling off. That will then, of course, reduce the market cap.
I also think Bonk's supply, like it's almost all distributed.
Rally is already in anticipation of
Look at that chart.
the number one.
Pengu as well.
Is a price chart you've probably not seen before. This is Bonk relative to Solana. So not in US dollars, but relative to SOL on a logarithmic scale.
Very good.
You can see how much Bonk underperforms or outperforms over time.
Good chart.
Enough, it tends to be in a somewhat stable trading range. We've got these massive rallies and subsequent declines. This here is a drop of 7%.
Good chart.
This here is an increase of more than 200%. And since February of this year, the price is stabilizing relative to Solana. This here is the recent rally. Now, I'm not saying at all that those kind of lines have to mean anything, but sometimes they do become
I love astrology.
and enough people agree that the price could be high at a particular point in time, then the selling happens. And the selling triggers the price decline. So things become reality just because the market as a whole is agreeing, not necessarily because anything fundamental is going on. The potential reward, in case we break out of this resistance, is 88% relative to Solana, and the potential risk is a drop of 31%.
Good risk reward.
We've got almost 1 million holders of Bonk. To be more precise, it's 945,292 wallets that have some Bonk. But not all of those wallets are created equal, right? Some of them might just hold a few cents worth of the token. Arbitrage bots
I've got a bunch of different wallets that hold Bonk.
hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of the token. It looks like this month the number of new trades.
Oh, and then you've also got decentralized exchanges as well, I guess.
Over the very long term though, the US dollar trading volume on the Solana chain has still not recovered. We had days in the year of 2023 where there was more than $100 million of trading volume. Now we are going up slightly again a bit, but still it's less than 10
Minuscule.
million in total. Also note how the trading volume is split up across different wallet cohorts. We can normalize this to 100%.
Cohort's such a great word.
With this chart. Most of the time, it's a small retail investor that dominates the trading. It looks like the price discovery for Bonk, though, does not happen on chain anymore. It seems like the trading volume has moved to the centralized exchanges. Because have a look at the trending tokens on the Solana chain. Bonk is now at place number 57. There's only 160k worth of liquidity. All the leading places where Bonk is traded is centralized exchanges. It's not
I actually hold all my Bonk on custodied wallets. I don't actually hold any on a centralized exchange.
futures. Now, most of the time, the perpetual futures traders are betting on rising prices. So the longs have to pay the shorts in order to get more price exposure. Or in other words, the funding rates are positive most of the time. This is green. There's a strong correlation between the open interest on the perpetual futures and the spot price. As there are more and more bets on Bonk, the spot price goes up as well. As there are less bets, the spot price goes down. So very likely
This guy's putting together a very good cohesive video about Bonk. I like it.
credit in the token. Because that's the fundamental difference between buyers on the spot market and buyers on the perpetual futures market. People get into a token via the perps in order to get levered exposure. Even though the financing cost can be very high,
Is this going to be an ad?
can be 10% or more per annum. It's much more expensive than just traditionally levering up the position. But people do this because the spread is very narrow, so getting in and out of the token quickly is very cheap. And so if you're trading very quickly, if you're trading often, and if you don't have long-term interest in a token, you rather go with perpetuals than with the spot market. And seeing the price getting moved that much by the perpetual futures, I think is a strong
Crazy
indication that we will see these pump and dumps in the future as well. The price always moves in the direction of maximum pain. So when enough people bet on falling prices, we see it shooting up. When enough people are betting on rising prices, we see a crypto crash. And
the market loves max pain.
Bonk price. This can be an opportunity to short. Is it now the perfect time to bet on falling prices of Bonk? Maybe, if there is a very tight stop loss. Because this is a potential turnaround. But you do not want to be in the short when we see in it.
The one part here, the one kind of catalyst, the one kind of, I don't know, not red herring, but the one thing that could kind of flip this wrong is the fact that Let's Bonk is just churning through their volume, bringing a lot of attention. The teams there is buying coins. It's going really, really well. So that's kind of why you having the rise in Bonk and the attention to Bonk, the platform. So if he doesn't touch on this, that's a part that you just need to know. Being in the space, knowing what people are trading, where the volumes are happening, that's where you're getting some of that token action and price action.
Take a step back. There's some interesting news happening with the money supply. The money supply is at all-time highs. And while this is not great for the average person, it is of course good for investors.
M2 money supply.
As more
Up, baby.
around, prices tend to go up. Have a look at this chart. You've probably never seen this before. This is Bitcoin relative to the money supply. So we divide the Bitcoin price by US M2, and we've got a curved line over here that interestingly enough connects the bottoms quite well. It gives us an idea of how much Bitcoin could potentially fall right now. The potential risk is somewhere around 60%. I'm not saying that we're going there anytime soon, but it does make sense to have some risk diversifiers in the portfolio as well. Now, besides the monetary expansion, another reason why Bitcoin tends to go up long-term in US dollars is simply because of its shrinking liquid supply. What we see here is the Bitcoin that hasn't moved for the last 5 years. It's almost monotonically increasing. 30% of Bitcoin has not moved over that time period. Thus, the Bitcoin that's available for trading tends to decline over time. On top of that, we've got all of that demand by the Bitcoin ETFs. So that launched in January of 2024 over the course of 1.5 years. 3% of Bitcoin supply got acquired by Wall Street. So roughly an acquisition rate of 2% per year. And so when a lot of Bitcoin doesn't get moved, and that tends to go up over time, at the same time we see purchases by Wall Street through the ETFs, and the token inflation of Bitcoin is rather low with 0.8%. We of course have to appreciate in US dollars long term. The inflation rate of BTC is 0.84%, and in 2028 this will drop to 0.41%. And those kind of effects are the reason why this line goes up over time, despite those.
I want to know how this ties back into Bonk.
Now, on the face of it, it seems very positive that Wall Street continues to accumulate Bitcoin because they're basically pumping our bags, right? They push up price through the demand. However, the issue is with that acquisition, the correlation of Bitcoin with other risk-on assets also goes up. So now when we see a stock market crash, we are more likely to also see a crash in Bitcoin. And the reason why this is a problem is the valuation of stocks long term. Have a look at this. This is the S&P 500.
Okay, I'm going to fast forward and see where it gets back in with Bonk.
When doing those relative valuation.
Okay, I'm going to stop the video there. Basically, what he was kind of touching with Bonk, the reason we're seeing this rise in Bonk is you've got Bonk's Memecoin launchpad platform called Let's Bonk. What Bonk are doing is that the team themselves are also supporting meme coins, buying into meme coins, which then means that people are more incentivized to launch on Bonk because there's a chance that things will actually rise up. And I have got the exact stat off the top of my head, but Pump Fund's market share has dropped to around 60% and Bonk has risen to around 20% or something like that. And Bonk is starting to eat Pump Fund's lunch, which then means that the price appreciation, because I'm not sure exactly how it works if Bonk do a buyback and burn or distribute the token, what they do, but it's basically bringing more attention. So that rise in the chart that we saw from Bonk isn't just market maker, it isn't some kind of manipulation and shady stuff. The Bonk team have just been executing, just outperforming, out executing everyone in the meme coin space. And that's why they're getting a lot of attention. and people are kind of speculating on it. I've got a bunch of Bonk. I like Bonk. I actually made a video on my other channel speaking about the top sort of 7 meme coins for 2025. Bonk's in it. I do believe Bonk is a very good coin. It also kicked off meme coins on Solana. It's almost like an ecosystem coin that really kind of went forward. The Bonk team are really, really good. They're really cracked. So that's kind of why the price is running up, because of all these external factors. There's not necessarily some shady stuff or manipulation. But yeah, look, Gerard put in a very good detailed analysis, very good charts, all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, go down there, drop some love, all of that good stuff. I had a pleasure making this video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.